Hello people, here are Valorant tips and tricks for every single agent on Lotus. Anyways, I found a few broken Jett updrafts on this map, so starting us off over here on C main, once your teammates start doing the execute onto site, you can use your first updraft to get on top of this double box right over here. And then you can use your second updraft to peek into CT, catching rotating defenders off guard. The second one would be right here on A link, peeking into B site. Instead of peeking like this, you can go over here instead, and then you can use your updrafts to peek into site. This should catch your enemies off guard. The last one would be for defending A site, but you do need a Sage for this one. So you want to go over to A top and then use your first updraft to get on top of this double box right over here, as the Sage places their wall right below you. Now this does need more aim and skill, but you can use your second updraft to peek onto A main. Now here's a KO God Flash for C main. So before the round even begins, you want to go right over here around this waterfall and you want to position yourself right against this wall just like that. Now from this edge, I want you to place your crosshair right there at the edge of that cliff, and then you want to move it up to that patch of leaves right over there. Now take out your flash and then throw. The flash pops, your teammate gets an easy kill while the enemy is too busy staring into the sun. Let's stay by the same waterfall for this God Fade Haunt for C main. So you want to go right over here onto the corner of this waterfall just like that. Now from this corner, I want you to pay attention to the top right corner of that thing right over there. I placed a marker for you. Take out your haunt and place the right edge of your HUD bar line right there on that reference point. Once that's done, do a jumping throw. And just like your expectations, the haunt is way too high to reach, meaning that it should guarantee a few scans before the enemies destroy it. If you're a arena player looking for tips and tricks in this video, I have a question. Are you brain damaged? She literally only has a heal and dismiss that you need kills in the first place in order to activate. Oh yeah, and she has a useless flash that you can use as a support flash through this waterfall. It's pretty useless, but oh well, it's arena. Let's go over to B site as Sage. Plant the spike right here and wall it off like so. Now as you can see, in order to break the spike, the enemies either have to shoot down your wall or they have to go over here to defuse the spike. Now this seems kind of advantageous considering that your enemies are walled off, but when you look at the map layout, you will think otherwise, because when they try to defuse the spike, they have literally nowhere else to go. Now your enemies are hard stuck just like I am in silver, so you can get that easy shot on them. Good job. Everybody's seen this bicycle lineup on Split, right? And if you haven't, you should play this game more. Anyways, you plant the spike right over here as Sova, and if Split has the bicycle lineup, Lotus has what I like to call the lineup del Pilar. So you go right over here onto this corner just like that, and from this corner, you're going to aim at this pillar right over here, right there on the right tip of the thing that marks the bottom of the pillar. Aim a little higher, take out your bow, double bounce, full charge, it's gonna bounce right there on the spike. Anyways, Riot destroyed Brimmy with his 2 stimmies, so now here's Brimmy with the 1 molly instead, because I'm a tryhard lineup nerd who needs to touch grass. Anyways, you want to plant the spike right over here at the middle of B site. Once you want to do your lineup, you want to go all the way back here to T-spawn right on top of this corner just like that. Now from this corner, you want to pay attention to the top of that roof, specifically that area where it starts to slope down on the left. The edge of it, that will be your reference point. Now take out your molly and I want you to place the top right tip of your stim beacon HUD bar line right there on that reference point. Once that's done, fire your molly. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and your molly should land right there on the spike. Moving over to A site for this Yoru lineup that you can use to stab your friends in the back. You want to go right over here onto this corner right below A top, and I want you to pay attention to these bricks. You're gonna place your crosshair right in between these 2 lines just like that, and then cast your TP. While we follow this TP, I would actually like to thank each and every one of you for all the support. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, thank you! Anyways, the TP goes all the way to T-spawn. Now once you're ready, throw a flash to mask your teleporting noise and then teleport to the attacker side spawn. Flank your enemies from behind. When your useless smokes player doesn't smoke off the opper, we have a term in the Philippines called walang kwenta, which is definitely something you should tell your smokes player as you do this neon stun lineup to deal with said opper. You want to stand somewhere around this statue right over here. It doesn't need to be perfect, and all you have to do is aim right there at that wall. That's literally the lineup. Just make sure that it isn't too high so that the stun doesn't hit the wall above the entrance. Here's another stun lineup that you can do with Neon on B site. You have to stand somewhere around this entrance and aim right there to the right side of that blue line. Throw your stun and it should stun anybody right over there. Remember this viral Phoenix Flash Molly lineup on Ascent A site? I don't either, so here's one for Lotus A site. You want to go right over here onto this pillar just like that by the center, and I want you to look for these 2 leaves. Aim at the middle and pull your crosshair down just enough to hit that leaf, then pull your crosshair up just enough to hit that leaf. That leaf will be your reference point. Do a jumping throw with a molly, take out your flash, and then flash A main. The enemies that are flashed will instinctively go over here onto this corner where the molly will land. After they killed our favorite fighting Frenchman, here is what's left of him. I believe that this corner on B would be one of the most ideal spots to place his anchor in right now, considering that you can hold the entrance to B from multiple spots on the site. Oh yeah, we're not done yet. You can also place his TP right there on the corner of A top just like that, and then peek into A main just like this. When you get a kill, you can TP right over here, and when the enemies enter site, you can also kill them from A top. If you still place your Cypher trips like this, I bet you're one of those people who still use Avast antivirus. I'm sorry, this is what TikTok does to a man. You see these leaves right over here? Yeah, you can place my tripwires on them, just like that. This could lead to some very difficult to break tripwire spots. Use them as you wish. Yeah, that hurt my throat. Okay, I'm not doing that again. Now, as Killjoy, you can place your swarms on any of the rotating doors and it should cover the entire rotating door. And considering the loudness of the rotating door and the fact that you can see it on the map when somebody opens it, you can just activate your swarms when the queue comes. Another thing that you can do with Killjoy is you can use your ultimate right over here on this corner just like that, covering a lot of the site except for that one corner right over there. After placing down your ult, you can take out your nano swarms and aim right there at the top of that entrance and then do a running throw. This should land right there on top, covering both top and bottom of that platform on the only corner that the enemies can hide in. Now, moving on to Raze, I made a montage about her recently, might want to check that out. You can use your first satchel to get on top of this double box on C main, and your second satchel and ult to peek onto CT, catching rotators off guard. Now, if you want to be aggressive as Breach here on B site, you can actually go right over here and aim right there at that pillar just like that. Take out your flash and aim it like so. At the start of the round, you can throw your flash just like this, and this should blind your enemies who are not expecting it, allowing your teammate to swing out and get an easy kill at the start of the round. I believe you people saw this coming. Here's the Viper lineup for Lotus A site. So upon entering A site, you would find this corner right over here, which is what I would assume to be the default plant, so you want to plant the spike right over there. Once the spike is planted, don't forget to place your orb on it, and then you want to hold the spike from these angles right over here. Now, once the spike is ticking pretty fast, or you finished baiting your teammates, you want to go right over here onto this corner just like that. Now, from this corner, there's gonna be that patch of leaves right over there on that roof. I want you to pay attention to the leftmost side of them right over there. That's gonna be the reference point. Now take out your molly and I want you to place the top right tip of your Q ability hotbar line right there on that reference point. Line it up like so, fire your molly, and your molly should land right there on the spike. Don't forget to activate your poison orb. Now Riot recently killed the king of one ways because back then if you throw your smoke like this, it should be a one way, but now it just sinks to the nearest surface just like that. But you can actually still do one ways with Omen as long as you can find a platform for his smokes to stand on. Just like that platform right there at the entrance of C. Place your smoke right there, make sure that the arrow is green, and throw your smoke, and there you go, that's a one-way. It's not as effective and efficient as the one-ways that you used to be able to do, but, you know, this will work. You can also use the heads of the statues as a valid surface in order to create one-ways. For example, this statue here on B site. Now, if you throw a pop flash with Skye just like this, you will notice that the blind duration isn't as long as it used to be. So instead of doing that, you can go right over here by this door, and I want you to aim right there at that gap right over here on A link to B site. Throw the hawk right through the hole and pop it the moment that it goes through. Normally the enemies might not expect this and they will get blinded for the full 3-second duration. Is it actually 3 seconds? I forgot to do my research. Now with Astra, I'm pretty sure a lot of people should know the typical use your ult to block off the spike and defuse strategy. When you use your ult like this, then you can start defusing like this, and then the enemies could not shoot through your wall for some reason no matter how close they are to you. Anyways, here's a counter for that. You know bullets do not penetrate the ult, right? No matter how close you are to the ult. But guess what? Your knife does. Therefore, you can actually use your knife to knife the Astra inside that's defusing the spike if ever they try to defuse this way. So there you go, keep that in mind. Now, the Viper wannabe uses his Omnitrix to cast this orb. Though the orb could be shot down relatively quickly using most weapons, the AWP is not one of those weapons. So if you know that somebody likes to hold a long angle with an AWP like this one on A main, you can use your orb to block it off. That's like the weakest way to end the video, but there you go. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate you people. As of recording this video, I would like to thank you guys for 1.9 thousand subscribers. Thank you so much. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers, like I said earlier, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also, leave down in the comments what you think about the tips and tricks, any criticisms, anything to correct me with. Feel free to be open. If you also have tips and tricks on your own, feel free to tag me on my socials. Links will be in the description down below. And if you're still here, comment down Avast antivirus just so that I know. Anyways, that's about it, and yeah. Bye-bye!